Hi, this is Sherman. Welcome to Second Coming of Unbelief. Today I'm going to discuss the Seventh-day Adventist doctrine of the investigative judgment. When Jesus did not come on October 22, 1844, some people doubled down and said, well, we got the math right, we just got the event wrong. And they searched and they searched and they searched. And if you find one word here, and one word here, and one word here, and one word here, and you put them all together, you can make the Bible say anything you want it to say. And somebody came up with the idea that there must be a sanctuary in heaven. I don't know why they got that idea. If you have read about the sanctuary in Exodus, there was an outer court, and in the outer court, the sacrifices actually happened. The bulls and the sheep and the pigeons and whatever were sacrificed. And the blood was shed there in the outer court. And then there was an inner sanctum divided into holy place and most holy place. And it was surmised that the outer court represents this earth because Jesus died on the cross, and that would be the sacrificial bull, a sacrificial lamb. So the outer court was this earth, and then Jesus went to heaven at the end of his ministry. And something had to have happened in 1844, because we did the math right. Math is not wrong. Math can never be wrong. And they came with the idea that because the temple curtain ripped in half when Jesus died on the cross, that Jesus went to heaven, that's the holy place, and in 1844 Jesus went behind the curtain with the fulfillment of the Day of Atonement. And he took the blood from the sacrifice and sprinkled it on the cherubim, the seraphim, the altar there, the throne of God. And we were taught as Seventh-day Adventists that Jesus started with Adam and called every human by name, and he negotiated with God the Father. Remember, God is love, but he's going to fry you if you don't love him back. Jesus negotiated with God the Father. Adam, fly or fry. Eve, fly or fry. Cain, fly or fry. Abel, fly or fry. And someday they would get finished going through all the names of all the people who had ever lived. I don't believe that in 1844 they really had a concept of billion. They might have had a concept of million, but billion didn't seem to have to be a thing then. And I don't think they actually understood the billions of people that had existed and how much time it would actually take to go through every one of those billions of names of people that have ever lived. But we were taught someday they're going to get done with all the people that have ever lived, all the dead, and they're going to start judging the righteous, the people who are living. Johnny, fly or fry. Billy, fly or fry. Susie, fly or fry. Shervin, fly or fry. And you never know when your name is coming up, so you better be good. You better be good. And it's almost as if Jesus kept jumping in front of the Father and saying, Father, Father, my blood, my blood. Because that's what Mrs. White said, Father, Father, my blood, my blood. And it's like Jesus is jumping around and God is saying, hey, Jesus, stop jumping around. You're throwing my aim off. And I know that's not what she meant, and I know that's not what's typically taught, but that's how it comes across. Jesus, get out of the way so much because you're throwing off my aim. Here's the manipulative part. When they finish going through all the names of the living, then Jesus gets on his cloud, and it takes him a week to get from heaven to earth. And during that week, there's no mediator between you and the Father. And if you fuck up, you fry. That's manipulative guilt, man. That's just manipulative. Okay? And why does it take 7 days? Jesus doesn't have thought transportation. He rides an antique cloud that's not capable of going that fast. No, bullshit. There is no sanctuary in heaven. It's an attempt to make prophecy fit something that you already believe. And much of Christian doctrine is just that, trying to justify one's preconceived ideas. And the investigative judgment just falls apart. It's not anywhere in the Bible. It's not anywhere in the New Testament. And you could argue the book of Hebrews talks about Jesus is now in the most holy place, or whatever it says there. You can argue that, but no. As an English teacher, we write whatever we write to a specific person or group of people, and we know that they're going to read that while we are still alive. Unless it's a diary to our grandchildren, unless it's a message in a bottle that we hope somebody finds before we die. Otherwise, we know who we're writing to, and we know when they're going to read it. There is no writing down for somebody 500 years from now, or 1,000 years from now, or 2,000 or 3,000 years from now. That's not what happened. People wrote letters, but they didn't write it for 3,000 years in the future. And it's just manipulation to say that, you better be good or you'll fry. That's just manipulation. It's crappy manipulation. And I can't think of anything else to ramble on about, so I will cut it off here. Thank you for watching Second Coming of Unbelief, and I will talk to you again in the next video.